YouTube, what the crap's going on? Heir of Carthage back. And this is game 2 of the finals of the Wars of the Ancient Tournament, which was hosted by Maximus Decimus Meridius. I've linked to his channel in each of these videos so you can see it. This time we are going to have Armenian King playing as Carthage, and Pokepax, his opponent, is playing as the Seleucids. Let's take a look at their builds this time. So Carthage has, looks like, main line of heavy sword infantry, so let's see what he's got. Sam Knights. So 3 mercenary Sam Knights, 3 Libyan infantry. There's going to be 5 Carthaginian cav, it looks like. I am correct. 2 Numidian cav, 1 African war elephant, general's bodyguard, and we've got 2 Libyan javelin men. And yeah, those Numidian cav and these late Libyan hoplites are going to be an interesting force. Again, we are seeing horse skirmishers, not Tarentine cav. That's an interesting pick. So let's go over to Pokepax Seleucid build. So it's going to be 6 thorax swords down the center. And a Gema cav supporting them. That could be very dangerous for the Carthaginian sword infantry. Some Persian light archers, probably to deal with elephants. Thurio spears on each flank, very smart move. They are backed up by 4 Median cav and a scythe chariot general. Interesting choice to bring chariots to what people would expect to be an elephant fight. And that may be a good choice because the Carthaginian peltast are going to be a lot less effective versus the chariot than they would be against elephants. And Iberian swords and other units would also be a lot less effective versus the chariots than they would the elephants. So very interesting move there. Let's go take a look at the initial skirmishing. We got horse skirmishers facing off against Numidian cav, and to be honest, the Numidian cavalry has better stats for the most part, but the attack and the armor is probably similar. Let's see, so Numidian cav, yeah, 15 armor, 15 here. Better morale, of course, than the Numidian cav, but that's not a real cost-effective engagement for the Numidians. And I'm pretty sure the horse skirmishers do have Parthian shot. So yeah, the Numidians can definitely help wear these guys out, but I would probably try and chuck my javelins right here at the Sagima cav instead. And he does. That was a smart move. Because the Agima cav is a lot more threatening. Now, not to say that the horse skirmishers aren't, because getting at the elephants with the horse skirmishers would be a great move on the part of Pokepax. But it looks like Armenian King kind of aggressively skirmishing. He is going to have to watch out for all this Median cav. There's 4 of them. He does have 5 Carthaginian cav. That should help him counter it. But he has not brought any spear supports. He's all heavy swords, so his army is kind of lacking spear support for the most part. He does have this 1 late Libyan, but they can be fairly easily dispatched. But then again, they could also be very crucial in a tight fight. So let's see. Pretty even between the horse skirmishers and the Numidian cav. Probably neither one of them scoring. Oh, elephant strength way too close to the horse skirmishers. This could be very bad for Armenian King. He turns around, and it looks like he'll get away. Yeah, he manages to get away, but he's taken some hit point damage there. That was... Oh no, his elephants still ran amok. They got shot by something else and ran amok. This is bad, because now the elephants are going to turn right back towards the Seleucid line and run over his own hoplites at the same time. Yeah, this is very bad for Armenian King to lose control of those elephants, because those were kind of his own answer to the side chariots. And look, they're going to get charged here by a Gema cav. That's going to do a lot of damage. Or no, they were going after the spearmen. Ooh, lots of javelins coming into the elephants. These guys are going to die, and they have only killed 1 enemy unit so far. Wow. Yeah, these elephants just got completely neutralized by Pokepax. They're excellent work on the part of Pokepax. Very excellent. That was kind of weird how they ran amok back here. I mean, that was just... Wow. I didn't see that coming. That was kind of a crazy end. So, African elephants have been dealt with. And I don't know why it still shows their symbol there, because they are gone. So, Carthage losing a major tool there, and it's going to be difficult for them to deal with the scythe chariots. No shot cavalry for Carthage. So I would say that this leaves Carthage at extreme risk to the scythe chariots, because it is very hard to hit the scythe chariots with javelins. And Carthaginian cav is not capable of stopping them. Now, however, Median cav here getting ganged up on by the Carthaginian cav. It does leave this Median cav free to roam over here, but Armenian King is getting the better of this engagement. Even if he pulls away, Pokepax is probably going to lose his cavalry here. But yeah, now we got Median cav moving up on the left flank of Carthage, so he's going to have to answer that. If I were him, I might be pulling my Numidian cav back that direction, but he's probably trying to answer these horse skirmishers, which, ooh, very nearly get caught here by the Carthaginian cav. This one does. And it is going to take some losses, I would assume, but it looks like it's getting away fairly clean. The Median cav do die. Yeah, and then he's going to lose quite a few Carthaginian cav in this chase, but he was able to kill a fair number of the horse skirmishers. I'd still say the cav advantage at this point probably falls to the Seleucids, not numerically speaking, but this Agema cav is going to be a powerful unit to stop with no spears. And with no spears, these swordsmen are going to be open to charges, which means that Armenian King may have to take his guys off fire at will in order to brace, which is also dangerous because it means he may not get javelins and his counters might be hard. In a straight-up sword fight, Carthage wins here. I just don't know how he's going to stop those chariots at the moment. If he could bog them down with Carthaginian cav and just get a hail of javelins in, it's possible. He might stop. Now look at this. Gets into melee with his mercenary Numidian cav against the horse skirmishers. But the Thurio spears are really hurling a lot of javelins in. He's going to try and pin the enemy horse skirmishers here. But losing 2 Numidian cav for 1 horse skirmisher is probably not a good trade here for Armenian King. So it looks like Armenian King's going to disrupt the charge of the Seleucid infantry, but that's also going to mean that these Median cav can get to his back line, so he does disrupt the charge. Also stops the Agema cav. Again, very important, but he's got to stop these Median cav from getting to his peltast. Looks like the side chariot general being held till late game. Very good choice. And it looks like he's going to try and intercept the Median cav and kill it with his javelin men. Not a bad choice, but those javelin men will probably be needed against the side chariots, because here they come. And the side chariots look like they're going to plow right through the back of their own men. This is something that makes me kind of sick every time I see it, but it does work. Just based on the way the mechanics of Rome 2 are, somehow it doesn't kill your own men, it kills your opponents. And he's getting nice javelins off in these chariots, but again, the chariots will get kills on the Carthaginian infantry here. Not great, though, just based on the angle that he came in at, and he's disrupting his own men pretty badly at the moment. So yeah, not a whole lot of kills coming yet on the chariots. But the Libyan peltast, or javelin men, just got hit by horse skirmishers. They were not the Libyan peltast, which would have been able to hold up to that. So that's gonna hurt, and chariots now are in the back of the Carthaginians, and like, look at this right here, how that chariot just plowed through that Libyan infantry. It'll just kill almost the whole unit. So now the side chariots are going to make their presence felt. Carthaginian cav will not be able to hold them. The chariots are going to be able to keep moving with attack orders. And this is going to go south for Carthage very quickly here. The Agema cav were fairly nicely neutralized by Armenian King, but I just don't see how he can stop the chariots. Yeah. So this is going to be a loss for Armenian King at this point. That's the challenge behind like elephants and chariots. Is if you lose a way to deal with them, I mean, they will be a game changer in the late game, and I'm sure every player knows that. But for those of you who are newer to the game, that's just something to be aware of. If your opponent fields elephants or chariots, you have to understand which units you have that will kill them. And again, I'm saying this to folks who are new. Armenian King knows this, I'm quite certain, as he's a very good player. But again, for newer players, you have to leave units to kill these guys, and I'm almost certain that Armenian King was probably expecting elephants, not chariots. I would have been expecting elephants and not chariots, so maybe I'm the only one there that would have made that assumption. But the chariots were a good pick in my mind. They're a lot harder to run amok. They're a lot harder to kill than elephants in general. I think elephants are a little stronger in terms of what they can kill and how quickly. But again, it's harder for your enemy to kill the chariots. They have lost a few chariots, but I mean the damage is done here. At this point in the game, where Carthage really had a sword advantage, but they were already going to get outflanked by cav and then getting hit with the side chariots, I mean that was just going to be too much. Just far too much for Carthage to be able to handle. And again, you can see these guys just roaming around in the back, and as long as they keep moving and plowing through men, they will get the kills. So it looks like Game 2 is going to go to Pokapaks, which means that we have a tie in the first 2 games, which means that we're going to head to a Bactria versus Bactria mirror match. That will be interesting, because neither player will have an advantage in terms of just, better units with one faction. They're going to have the same faction. It's going to be highly important on what they pick, how they're able to counter what their opponent picked, and then just, I guess at that point it'll come down to also how well they can micromanage their troops. Ought to be very interesting, and I definitely look forward to this mirror matchup. It's going to be a lot of fun. That was also a very interesting match. I mean, the fact that those African war elephants were held to 1 kill was just the killer for Armenian King. And yeah, it's something that I've done myself, bringing elephants into a battle, and you just somehow manage to lose them. It's kind of like that sinking feeling in your stomach when you know what's going on. You're like, no, even though they're just little animated pixels of an animated pictures of an animal. It's not like for real, but again, I guess that attachment. You just want to see your elephants raffle stomp your enemy, and whenever you see them dying, it pulls on your heartstrings, right? Okay, I'm being stupid just for fun here. So nice kills on the Thurio spears, nice kills on his swords. Considering what they were matched up against, mercenary Samnites are very tough, and they definitely would have beat down thorax swords. And you can see that even the Livadian infantry here, very capable. Just whenever they're getting rear charged, though, it's in a unit that's going to eventually give way to that for the most part. Decent kills coming off some of his Median cav. These ones were the ones that kind of got ganged up on. These two were the ones around the late game. Not enough kills really on the Agema cav, but the chariots and the fact that the Carthaginian elephants were lost made up for the fact that his Agema cav was not able to deal the death that it needed to really pay for itself. Very interesting game. Nice work to both players through game 1 and 2. This ought to leave us at a very interesting game 3. I am signing off for now, and I will see you back next time in the tie-breaking final of the Wars of the Ancients tournament between Armenian King and Pokapax. See you then.